And we're back.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, listen to a Pocket Party.
Hey everybody, it's your host Darren Carter, the party starter on the Pocket Party Podcast. Thanks for joining us again here in the studio in North Hollywood, California. When I say studio, I mean John DiResta's home. So thank you. To my right, we have Mr. John DiResta.
Thank you.
And to my left, we have Dr. Dean.
Thank you.
Dean Larit, yes. How are you, Darren? Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you so much. Thanks for doing it again. Every time you guys are on the show, I always have a ball, and I always learn more about New York and your wild lives and all that kind of fun stuff. So thank you for being here, man. Thank
Absolutely.
you. You are podcast gold, and you are podcast gold. And
whoa, thank you.
Okay.
That's nice to hear.
And this sure is better than doing it on Zoom, I'll tell you that. Although nothing against Zoom, but I do enjoy these. So
No. Zoom is everyone's on a 2-second delay.
yeah, it is. Even when you do a joke, it's like, or you tell someone a story or something.
Right, you
and,
don't know if a joke didn't hit, and then you're like, oh, can I top it? And when you go to top it, then they laugh.
Here's something I wanted to ask you, and
I'm not gay.
besides that,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yo.
dude, you should be. That way we can get more downloads and get more, prominent
Hey,
exposure out there.
I'm 57 years old. I'm always looking for a new funny story.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind?
Here's my question.
Did you want a doc?
Here's my question. I got a question for you, buddy. Yeah, what's up, Doc? I got a question for you. We were talking off air about people jumping the turnstile in New
Right.
York. And
Right.
you said that after a while, like back then when you were doing it in the 80s, and he was a former New York NYPD transit cop.
Right.
I guess it was very common for people to jump the turnstiles.
It not only was it very common, and I would have never saw this coming. When you just stand next to a turnstile as a transit cop for 8 or 10 hours a day, totally alone, right? You have nothing to do. It's just no cell phones then, and you get trouble if you're reading even a newspaper or a book. You can get in trouble. The public sees it, and so you almost had to kind of keep yourself entertained. It could be very boring and dangerous. So I don't even know if Dr. Dean knows. Did you ever beat the turnstile?
I didn't do it that way. I used to get the door.
Yeah, this is a slam gate.
It's the slam gate.
Yeah, right.
I used to do the slam gate thing. And but I was, I was always afraid of getting a ticket or even getting you were arrested, right?
Baba Booey was arrested. Gary
Wow.
Dell'Abate. Because every now and then, the team, when it goes out, and I've been on those teams, and it's completely unfun. I don't want to do that. Anyone that's jumping the turnstile, you don't want to physically touch, be involved with. They have fleas. They have mange. But hold on. And then the cops hide in the room. I don't know if you guys know that. Cops hide in the room. So when you jump the turnstile, they all come out of this little setup.
Oh, is that how it does?
So, but every
okay.
now and then they process everybody and put them through the system.
Okay.
And so Gary Dell'Abate doubled up. You know what doubling up was?
No.
Two people would take one.
Yeah.
You'd
As it's
scooch up.
turning,
Yes, it's
you
turning. You
pull-
scooped in.
Right.
So Baba Booey doubled up and got arrested.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what I was getting at is,
Yeah.
so a lot of people would walk up and say, "Hey, officer, can I get in for free?" Especially at Coney Island. Think about thousands of people get off during the day, and it's 7, 8 o'clock, 9 at night.
Right.
They're drunk, they're high, they're out of money, they're sunburned.
Right.
And I'm standing there. I'm the only guy. Officer, please, can I go? I ran out of money. I got robbed. Like they all have a story. So to keep ourselves busy, we would present them with questions.
Okay.
So you could go for free, sir. I'm sorry you lost your car fare. You just have to. Can you answer one question?
Sure. Oh, let me be the guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, they towed my car all the way
Yeah,
back.
dude. No problem. You want to get in for free?
I would love to.
Yeah, dude. I'm here to help.
Thank you.
Yeah, listen.
New York's finest.
Yeah, I'm New York's finest, dude.
Thank you.
I'm here to help. Seriously.
Do I need a token or something?
No, well, you're broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, just answer one quick question. If you get it right, you go for free.
Okay.
Totally free. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. What's closer, the moon or Florida?
I'm gonna say. Are you serious? Florida.
Yeah, but you can see the moon, right? Can you see Florida? Have you ever seen Florida?
No.
See that right there?
Yeah.
That's the moon. It's things like that. So this was the first one I ever did.
And then you would let him go through.
Then we let
after
him
that.
go, dude. You're just entertaining yourself. The first
That's a good one. I like that.
The first one I ever did was a Coney Island, Stillwell Avenue guy. Can I get in for free? I lost my car fare. My parents are divorced. I got to get back to the Bronx. I said, no problem, dude. Name three U.S. states. That's it. Guy goes,
California,
"That's it."
Oregon, Washington.
Yeah,
or
don't
whatever.
rush the joke.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Got to remember, you're in Brooklyn.
yeah.
They don't know Oregon. They never heard
They
it.
could
No,
care
no.
less about Oregon.
No, so
yeah.
I said to this guy, I said, name 3 of the states. He goes, oh, man, that's easy, Officer. Miami. I said, that's one. He goes, Honduras. I said, dude, why did I even ask you? I said, you're so good at this. He goes, this is easy. Upstate. He thought upstate was a
Upstate
state.
New York.
Wow.
Yeah. And I let him go, and I said to myself, that's a bit in stand-up that'll last forever. These jokes, these questions, I
actually-
did in Hong Kong.
Okay.
On a set in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And they were killing. People get it that, you keep yourself busy. What was another very popular one? How much, who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant.
Right. But,
Yeah. What year did the War of 1812 happen?
yeah, what weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead?
Right.
Oh, here was a good one. This was a good one. You're not going to believe me. It's true. Okay, you want to get in, sir?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Sure. One question. You're free.
Okay.
All right. You ever hear of the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yes, I have.
Okay. At one end is Manhattan. What's at the other end?
Brooklyn.
You're in. No problem. I'll open the gate right up.
Thank you.
But most people would say Yonkers.
Really?
Long Island.
What's the real answer?
Well, the real answer is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn
the
and New
Brooklyn
York.
Bridge.
I just
Brooklyn and
took
New
a
York.
guess. And
No,
I got
no.
it.
Well, it's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Brooklyn.
That's how
Wow.
stupid you are as a host.
Wow. No, I got the right answer though, right?
By accident.
Yeah, you did.
I'd let you
Absolutely.
slide by accident.
Can you imagine this guy in a New York City subway?
I don't want to ever. I don't know. No.
No, I called it
man.
the large intestine
Yeah.
of New York. It's like crawling through the large intestine.
It's a rough time right
Yeah.
now in those subways.
And they're shooting and
It's
killing
so
people.
bad.
Oh yeah, what did you
Stabbing.
say
So bad.
about that? You said that it's the guts of New York.
No, it's the large intestine. It's worse than the guts.
Yeah.
It's like crawling through New York City's rectum.
How many miles of subway is there? In other words, you should know
No,
this.
well, I know there's 479 stations, and 3 or 4 of them aren't used. So we used to see stations that haven't been used in 50 years.
Okay.
With chandeliers,
Right,
because we were in the homeless
old
outreach unit.
Right.
But somebody said, you know who said it? I was on a podcast with Dwayne Perkins.
Okay.
He's from Brooklyn, knows the subway. He said that if you go from end to end, you can get to Buffalo. With all the tracks.
Oh, how much? Oh,
from
wow.
New York, you can get from Manhattan to
450
Buffalo.
miles, 475
Yeah,
miles.
something like that.
Yeah. Wow.
The reason I asked about that because I know Dwayne and when you said on the other show that you did with him and he said that he jumped the turnstile, I'm like Dwayne did, so that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Like
No, it's
is
not that big of
Is
a
it
deal.
kind of like
No,
jaywalking here? 'Cause
No, you know what it's like?
yeah.
It's like speeding. It's like,
Yeah.
everyone does it, but 1 out of 50 people get caught. It's just, that's the
Right.
same way to
Okay,
But it looks
yeah.
weird, man, when everybody's paying. You can see people like look at that person going, you can just see like in the
Yeah.
morning rush.
Yeah.
Remember the
Yeah.
morning rush.
Yeah.
You see these people with attaché cases and blah and suits and ties and blah blah blah. And I used to watch people's expression when they see, it's always that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
It was,
Well, watch this. If you were a transit cop on one side of the tracks, right, you're on the southbound side. On the platform, you could see the other side. There's 2 train tracks, and you could see everything. Guys would jump the turnstile and just I don't want to do it, they'd put the middle finger up. By the time you run over, they would do it as the train was pulling in.
Right.
They would give the cop the finger. They would jump the turnstile in front of them, but they would do it just as their train. By the time the cop ran to the street, ran across,
Timing.
he's gone. So a New York City transit cop at a District 3 in Harlem started to carry a blow dart.
Whoa.
And would blow dart people in the neck from across the platform. And no Hollywood writer could write
Wow.
that.
They would flip him off, run away, and he'd be like,
Yeah, and he was
Wow.
supposedly had good aim, and people would catch it. And he'd go for the skin. That's hysterical, and that can't be made up. No one can make that up.
oh my! What happened to this guy?
I don't know. He probably did his 20. Lives in Florida. He's probably a stand-up comedian.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a funny story.
wow.
I know another guy. This one you're not going to believe. Joe Smith. He used to drive the homeless outreach bus. And he had a really funny way of talk like this, John DiResta. He just texted me, first time in 30 years on Facebook. John DiResta used to do stand-up for crack whores and bums, and now he's famous. That's the way he talks. So, Joe Smith, why did I bring him up?
About other actions that people do, not blowing darts, but this guy did.
Joe Smith's first night as a New York City transit cop in 1984, They go from roll call with a big old timer, fat guy, uniform dirty, and real transit cops had paint all over their jacket from leaning on a freshly painted pole. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And the patch was black because you're in the subway.
Right.
The patch, you couldn't even
From
read
the
it.
soot?
Soot, everything. Steel dust.
Yeah.
His first night as a New York City transit cop, he says to the old timer, "What are we going to do tonight?" And the old timer says, "See that room over there that's locked that no one's ever going to go in? We're going to go in there. Jeez. And I'm going to drink a 6-pack, and you're going to watch me get drunk. Then you're going to watch me sleep. Then we're going to come back and sign out." They go in the room. The guy's got the beer already in there somehow set up. The cop lights a joint and goes to pass it to Joe Smith. And he's like, "Dude, I don't know if it was a test. How can it not be a test? It's the first night."
Yeah.
And the guy's handing me a joint. And it winds up, it wasn't a test. Can you imagine the balls of that cop? The old
That's
timer?
how he went to work.
That was his first day as a cop. That's
Right.
Yeah.
What year do you think that was?
Like 82, 83.
Wow.
And then I got on in 86.
Of course you think it's a test, huh? You're like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
can't be
can't be
real.
it. Yeah.
Cops are cops. This can't be, you
Well,
know.
hold on. Here's another one. We got into the homeless outreach unit, me and Mike Venkus, who was from Howard Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me and Mike, and we were young. Usually guys that go to the homeless outreach got gray hair. They,
Okay.
you know,
They're on the down.
They're on the
Right.
down, weekends off. And they used to wear orange jumpsuits with just their police shield hanging from the zipper.
Okay.
So they look like Slipknot, the metal band. They look
Yeah.
like a crazy
Right.
old metal band. And I said to myself, I want to do that. I don't want to do police work. I want to have funny stories. So we got transferred to the homeless outreach unit, and we were like 25, 26, 27, and all these guys were 39, 40, 45. And this is a true story. The first night we were in the homeless unit, John Toomey, an old-timer, drives us to a diner right outside Van Cortlandt Park, the opening scene of The Warriors when Cyrus got shot.
Can you
dig it?
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Right.
So we're in the homeless outreach unit 2 hours. He takes us in a van or a bus, me and Mike Venkus. He sits us down and goes, "We're at a pizza parlor." He goes, "I got to tell you right now, both of you are too young. You're too young to be in this unit. Something's up. So we're going to save you some time. We drink on job time. We fudge numbers. We go home early. We get drunk. And we fuck women on job time. You got what you need." Dude, he said he doesn't even know if we're really IAD or undercover.
Right. Internal affair.
No Hollywood writer could write that.
Unreal, man.
Yeah, and it wasn't even, watch this, there was a unit before Internal. Internal Affairs is drugs, money, killing people. They have it's like an integrity thing. You know what I mean? Like, all we had to do was come in there a week and go back, these guys, we weren't looking at but I wasn't even one of those guys.
So basically, all the running gags about the NYPD in the 80s, 70s and 80s, definitely late 70s also, all that was sort of pretty much true. They were all on the take.
Oh, I got there. I was transit,
The
so I don't know that.
The 77th was a big...
I was in the police academy on that one, and I've read the book a few times.
Yeah.
And then, now the new one is the 7-5.
7-5.
The documentary is the one.
Correct.
And I know some of those guys.
My buddy from around the corner where I grew up, he was in the 75, and when all that crap was happening.
No shit. So was my buddy, Sean O'Rourke.
Now,
Hold on, I went on a ski trip. Did you know the 7-5? It's a documentary.
I saw it.
Okay.
I liked it, yeah.
Okay. I went on a ski trip with the 7-5 precinct in 1989 or 90.
Okay.
And I was a fellow cop, but I was transit.
Right.
And they all knew each other. There was about 60 of them.
Yeah.
And they were tight. And I was the outlander because I was a friend of a friend.
Right.
But they knew I was a transit cop.
Right.
They knew I was funny. But some of those guys that wind up being dirty were on the ski trip.
Right.
And this is what I remember. And I guarantee you, I'm not making this up, but it doesn't sound real. You go for one day, everyone gets on a bus at 4 a.m.
Okay.
Everyone. 60 cops with a keg of beer. You're on a bus at 4 a.m. You start drinking at 4. You get to Hunter Mountain, like 160 miles, 140 miles. You get there like at 9 a.m.
Okay.
You get your skis, but everyone's skiing, all drinking with the pouch. Then there's like, you could take your own lunch, but at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, everyone turns their equipment in, goes to a bar at Hunter Mountain. Everyone puts down a 20, so there's $820 bills.
Okay.
And everyone gets boxed And that's what I would tell my story. And then you drink from 4 to like 9 or 10. And everybody on the bus was yelling and screaming and rowdy. And this is what I remember. And I don't know if this is true. I remember 2 guys running down the aisle of the bus and smacking their skulls together. For fun.
Wow.
And the noise was something you never heard before.
Oh, yeah.
And the next thing I knew, they were like, all right, 10 minutes to the precinct, 10 minutes. And I woke, and everybody was so bombed, there wasn't a sound.
Unbelievable.
Everybody, they weren't sleeping, they were passed out. So this is like a 24-hour trip, and you get back like at 5 in the morning.
Unbelievable.
And hold on the way home, this is a true story. This I remember. It was still like now it's like 4 in the morning, and me and Sean are drunk. And to drive from Bed-Stuy to Hewlett, believe it or not, is like 4.5 miles. You cut past JFK Airport. You know, it's like 7 miles.
Yeah.
And we get caught in a DWI stop with the NYPD. And not only do they let us go, I said to Sean, watch this. Fucking Jack Daniels suckling it down out of the bottle. As uniformed cops got the flashlights on us.
Wow.
That's balls.
And they didn't, what'd they do?
No, they were fucking laughing.
They knew you guys were cops?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I remember my uncle was in the 107th precinct, which was 73rd Avenue and 188th Street, right near Union Turnpike.
Okay.
Right near Union Turnpike.
Sticks and Stones. That's where I dropped my gun in the toilet.
That's the name of the place. You told me. Yeah, you sent me a DM on that. So I took my mother's car out, which was a 72 Dodge Dart.
Dude, I had a Dodge Swinger.
I love that car.
Yeah, that
car.
Yeah.
I would love to have that car now. A 72 Dodge Dart. It was a 6-cylinder
That's a great car. I had the same car.
But here's the kicker. If you were in the passenger seat and you made a sharp left, the passenger door opened up.
Oh.
Completely opened up.
Yep.
Okay, so theoretically, if there was a car alongside you that was coming at around that time, and you could have theoretically smacked the door off.
Right.
Okay, massive car crash kind of thing. So that's the car that we had and that I had. And I think I was 16. I didn't have the license yet. I had the learner's permit. And I took the car out. My mother, I think, was taking a nap or something. My father wasn't even home. I took the car out, and I just wanted to learn how to drive by myself. And I had a friend with me in the car. That's right. And we went on the Long Island Expressway. And the next thing you know, the lights are on.
Hey-o.
Okay, whoop. Right on me. And I'm going, oh, shit, what the hell did we do? And thank God we weren't stoned or any of that stuff. And so I got off right by St. Francis Prep.
Okay.
You remember Francis Lewis Boulevard?
Okay. I'm Long Island, bro.
Oh, okay. That's true. Yeah. So I got off right at that, what I just said, Francis Lewis Boulevard. There was like an exit prior. And the guy comes to the car, and I'm like, "Hi, officer, how you doing?"
Yeah, right.
Blah, 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 because my uncle was in the precinct. And I go, and he goes, license, registration. And I go, I don't have it with me. I don't have it, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, I see on the other side of my friend, my uncle.
Oh, look at that.
They knew the car.
Oh.
And he followed me in the car. He happened to I jumped onto the Long Island Expressway with me, and he goes, "That's my nephew."
Wow.
Okay. And he pulls me over, and I go, and I'm like, "You," I was screaming at him. I'm like, "You mother." I called him because my heart was just racing.
Right.
Yeah.
I figured my father's going to kill me with this one.
Dad's going to kill me.
Oh yeah, of course. And but they were the thing about the NYPD is that it was so prevalent back then. Because I had a friend that all of a sudden the new truck.
Oh, I see what you're saying on the take.
Yeah,
but I see. Watch this. I got on in '86.
Yeah,
and I was transit, so I never saw any of that.
Saw any of that stuff.
Yeah, what could you steal?
Who's bribing you? Yeah.
You could steal subway maps.
Right. But it was just weird to see how a new truck and new stereo system, which back then
I remember that everybody and
you got the Techniques turntable. Oh, he's on the
everybody.
tape. He's on the
everybody.
tape.
I never thought of that.
He's on the Techniques turntable. But
I remember when I would walk through Manhattan. I was in Manhattan a lot in the early '90s, and there'd be these signs in their cars that said like, "No radio, no stereo, no radio, no stereo."
right, because that was
didn't
a big
want
thing.
their-
They broke in.
When I first met Jay London, I said, I have a great joke for you. He goes, I don't take jokes from other people. I said, well, just try it out. He goes, what is it? He said, I'm probably not going to use it. And I said, you know the way people have a sign in their car that says no radio? You have a sign in your car that says no friends. Right? Coming from Jay
That's
London,
funny.
that's a funny joke.
Right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing, though? That I always got a kick out of that sign, no radio, actually worked.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, like the thugs or the thieves actually went, doesn't have a radio.
Well, watch this.
It's amazing. Go ahead.
This is a true story.
No Wi-Fi.
I was a wise guy in Coney Island as a cop. I was a wise guy. Everybody knew I didn't like the job, and I would verbalize it and make fun of. Does anybody realize we stand in a subway?
Yeah.
Like, am I
It's a rough
am I the
gig,
only
man.
guy that this is not what I signed up for? Because I took the test for NYPD, and against your will, 1 out of 10 go in the subway.
Mm-hmm.
So I got caught sitting down on the train in full uniform. Then I got caught reading a Playboy magazine at a Tiamo cigar shop with the centerfold like this, in uniform.
That was the moment they caught you.
in uniform, and it was an undercover sergeant.
What did they do? Write you up?
Well, here's what they said to me. I got pulled into an office, and Lieutenant Lebrano legitimately said, "Dude, you don't like it here. You don't like it here, guys. Everyone knows you don't like it. You're not the, you're not the great. You have 1 arrest. It's 4 years in. That type of stuff. No summonses." He says, "Why don't you quit?" He goes, "You should quit because if you get fired, you're not going to get another civil service job."
Okay.
Yeah.
He said, "You should quit." And I said, "No, I probably won't. What's my punishment for these 2 incidents that happened?" And here's first before I get to the punishment. The first trial, it's a little trial in front of a transit judge. It's the most crazy thing. And he was an old black gentleman, all hunched over, and he says, "Okay, John DiResta, you're sitting down on the full uniform, people watching, rush hour, and you're sitting down like you're a passenger with your hat off." It's funny, right? Just see a transit cop sicker.
Yeah.
So it was the day before I went to get married in Hawaii. I said, the suit I'm wearing tomorrow when I go to Hawaii to get married. So they said, "Good luck with your wedding." I go, 2 weeks. While I'm on my 2-week holiday getting married, somehow, some way I get notified that my next trial for reading the porno magazine is the day I get back. Dang. So my honeymoon was buttoned with a trial and a trial.
Right.
Wow.
So they were nice enough to not take any money. My punishment was to go to District 3 in Harlem with no locker for 2 weeks. So I had to lug all this police equipment through the streets of Harlem. And I'm from Long Island.
Yeah.
I don't know Harlem. It's the first time I ever found out that there's a neighborhood called Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
Hence the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I learned that. Long
Where
story.
was that? What street is that?
It's like something like 145th Street, somewhere in Harlem. I don't know where. I just know going from Long Island, you pass Yankee Stadium, you see signs for Yonkers, that whole area.
Yep.
Bronx Zoo, Throg's Neck.
Know it all well.
Yeah,
man.
so I get there, and the first day I come in, the sergeant pulls me into his room and says, "Hey, dude, I'm just tell you we're on your side. I know you got sent here as punishment, but you're a cop. You're a fellow cop. You already are punished that you're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll look after you." And then he nicely says, "Dude, you should straighten your shit out. This is a good job. Believe it or not. You have 18 years to go. You moved to Florida."
18 years to go.
He goes,
Wow.
he says, if you get fired, same thing. You're not going to get another good job. You know that. And I don't know what made me say it. I said, if I get fired, I don't care. I'll become the next Howard Stern. And he says, "Dude, how many Howard Sterns are there on Earth?" And I went, 2.
I knew it, man.
It's funny.
I
So
knew
long
it.
story short, my first night, I have to take my uniform off, put it back in a bag. I go up to my car, and at a red light, a crack gentleman hooked on crack holds up a radio with a handle, knows I'm a cop because I'm a white guy at 2 a.m. coming from this precinct.
Right.
Yeah.
He holds up a radio with a handle on it at a red light, and he says, officer, you want to buy this? And I said, yeah. And he gave me a great deal. You know why? It was mine.
Oh.
I bought it back, and I thought it was the funniest thing on earth. I didn't even try and pull any police stuff on him. Whoa. I said, dude, I'm giving you $20 for that. And he said, sold.
That's hilarious.
No hassles, no police work. Yeah, that's funny. Dude, no Hollywood writer could write that.
It was a different time, man. I don't know if you know the headliner back in the late 80s, early 90s, Kent Casper.
I remember the name.
Yeah. He had a great joke about New York cops. He goes, I gotta love New York cops, man. They make $48,000 a year. What was cops making back then? 20 was
well,
it?
when I got on in '86, you started at 25,977.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I remember, because I'm saying to myself, 48 is too high back then. He goes, you gotta love New York City cops, man. $28,000, but with overtime, $1.5 million.
Yeah, there you go.
And I have a joke that I do in my act, which is
get off the corner. Come on.
Oh, you love that? You like that joke?
Yeah, it's great. Yes.
Yeah,
get the body.
Take the body somewhere else. Hey guys, come on.
Somewhere else.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's funny.
Do the right thing, guys. Come on.
I wanted any other stories, or can we jump into?
Go ahead.
No, we're done.
Okay, good. I didn't want to story chop. Okay, here we go. I threw some questions out there.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Dean. We'd like to hear. The listeners want to hear a memorable Vegas. I'm going to read the whole question. They would like to hear a memorable Vegas trip. Would like to hear some stories about his adventures of women and gambling in Las Vegas. And then they write, don't let him weasel out with Atlantic City stories. It ain't the same.
Okay, obviously that's from Mims.
So what's your, what do you got?
I actually do have a pretty funny story in Vegas. It's R-rated. It's not X.
Uh-oh.
It's R-rated.
Hey now.
But I probably
here's a good practice.
I'm going to tell it.
Tell the story and
Yeah.
try to
Keep it
clean it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm probably one of the few people on planet Earth that got to spend many hours with a lady of the evening.
Oh.
Lady of the evening. Beautiful tag. Beautiful expression. For giving her a chiropractic adjustment.
There you go.
Okay. Great story. Okay. Here's the story.
Yeah.
I'm doing 14 shows at the Riviera, John, for Steven Chiropractor.
Okay, I never did it.
Okay.
I was booked and I had to cancel.
Okay. And you worked for Chiropractor, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Riviera, 14 shows. I'm sure you've experienced Vegas on a Monday and a Tuesday.
Do you remember a guy named Tino that ran it?
No,
Looked like he was in the.
These were female lady ran.
Oh, it was a guy named Tino.
Okay,
it was like this big Italian.
The bartender? Was he a bartender?
No, he
in
was
the
like
back?
the GM back then.
Okay,
This is 1997, and I remember he goes.
Go ahead,
he
I'm
knew
listening.
he knew who my manager was.
Okay.
And he goes, "Hey, he goes, you tell," and he kind of gave me like a little tap on the face. Alan fucking David, and he gives me a little thing.
Tino says hi.
Yeah. You tell him Tino, but it was hilarious because my wife's name is Jeannie.
Oh, okay.
And this guy's name is Tino.
Okay.
And I was afraid to say Tina.
Okay.
And so I was concentrating on that. And I just got married, my wife, and I go, oh, pleasure to meet you, Mister. And I said, this is my new bride, Gina.
Oh, she was with you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You hear what I just said?
Yeah.
So his name's
said it the
Tino,
wrong
her
way,
name's
yeah.
Jeannie,
Right.
and I said, this is my new bride, Gina.
Oh, you called your wife by the wrong name?
And I said
I'm afraid of that.
And I said my new bride. So it wasn't even like, it was like, this is my new bride, Gina. I mean, Jeannie.
So,
and then he goes like this. He's like, how long did you guys know each other? And he just like, it was kind of sort of busting balls and stuff. But
okay.
I always remember that. The Riviera, Steve Chiropractor, Tino.
Yeah,
and when we say Steve Chiropractor, you know him from...
Blue Bloods right now.
Sopranos.
Oh, no, well, Sopranos, obviously most famous for Sopranos, but
Bobby Bacalari.
done a nice 150, 160 episodes of Blue Bloods.
Nice.
Made himself a nice chunk of change. Steve, I hope you're well. Because he was nice to me. I met him at the Four Seasons Hotel, and I said, we have a mutual friend, Bruce Smirnoff, and he goes, sit down. And I sat down with him, and he goes, what do you want? You want to work? And I go, you bet your ass I want to work.
Nice.
And 2 days later, I get a phone call, and he's like, I got you 14 shows with John Manfrotati and Steve McGrew.
That's cool.
You like McGrew.
I do like McGrew.
Yeah,
Steve McGrew. Shout out to Steve McGrew.
McGrew
What
is
happened to Manfrotati? He was from Brooklyn, wasn't he?
Oh, still working.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is?
John. As a matter of fact,
Oh, I haven't seen or heard.
just a couple of years ago, just before pandemic, I was in Vegas with a buddy of mine, and I see that they're playing David Spade and Romano are playing at the Mirage, and Manfrotti's the opening act.
Oh, wow.
So I call John up as I'm at the table eating, and I go, John, any chance, man? He goes, wait. Dean Larit, the chiropractor? And I go, yeah. He goes, you're in town? And I go, yeah. He goes, oh my God, I threw my back out this morning playing golf with Ray. Absolutely, you'll have 3 tickets staying at the Will Call.
Nice.
He goes, I need you to do me a favor after the show and come backstage on the couch. And so
Whoa.
we hung out with Romano and Spade. We had a great time, man. I adjusted this guy in the back room. But now I want to give you your story. For Mims, I have a feeling that's it is because he always likes to break my chops.
I wish it was on this
it's
one.
Not?
I got to say real quick
Go ahead,
before you
go
tell me
ahead.
the Riviera
Go
story.
ahead,
The
go
first time I went there, I remember the feature. I was the opener back then.
So was I. Go ahead.
And the feature, and it was really good. He would do all these impressions. His name was Mike.
Reynolds?
No, not Mike Black. It was Blackjack Wilson. Mike Wilson. Yeah, he went by the name. He does corporates and cruises.
Oh,
and he's killing
okay.
it, man.
Okay.
And then the headliner was a guy named, I want to say Mickey Manners. Shout out to
Man,
Mickey
I don't
Manners.
even-
Yeah, he was an old school
I
dude.
don't
He
even
was
know his-
he was so vaudeville. He was really
Oh,
he was a
okay.
senior guy. He was in
Those guys can bring it, though.
He was in
man.
one of those Jerry Lewis movies. I forget the
Okay.
name of it, but he wanted to include me into his act. He's like, Darren. Yeah, he used to call me Young Darren. I mean, I was in my 20s. He's like, Young Darren. He goes, at some point, he goes, I'm going to ask for hats and canes. And he gave me 2 canes and 2 old school hats. Like, hello, my baby, hello. And he wanted me to take the 2 canes and hats. And he goes, I want you to, when I go hats and canes, he goes, I want you to throw them on the stage, do a big clap like that, like you just crushed or whatever. And then put your elbows out and kind of walk off like, and that's when he gives me that look like, why I oughta. Yeah, and it was so, I didn't mind doing it because I was like, I'm in Vegas now, I'll do whatever the headliner says. He liked me, he did not like the middle act. He kept, every night he would say something to and then he would say like, Mike, I know you say the word 1,000 on stage, and I say the word 1,000. Does it have to be the same number? Why do you have to choose that number? Can you pick another number? All this kind of stuff.
That's a little.
He did this thing at the end that was always a little strange. I love working with them, but this was a little strange. He's like, he would pull out pieces of paper and tell old street jokes.
Okay.
He'd be like, here's a joke somebody sent last night. Da 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 da. Here's another joke. Da da da. Here's another one. And folks, there's pencils and papers on your table. Write down your favorite joke. I'll be standing by the door. Hand it to me on your way out. So of course they, part of the
So he uses it for the next show.
part of the gig is we had to stand by the door, and they want you to like
shake people's hands. Or
Yes,
whatever.
before people sold merch like they do now. So we're all saying goodbye. So people would be, here's my joke, and he would actually turn it off and stop being nice. He'd be like, "Thank you, not interested. Thank you, I have enough. Thank you, I not interested. Thank you, I haven't. Thank you."
This guy was a character.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mickey Manners.
Maybe I shouldn't say his name, but yeah, whatever.
Mickey,
God rest
God
his
bless.
soul if you're still with us. Thank you. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
He was a great character,
So-
great guy, but that was an interesting.
All right, so this is the R-rated story because I've told this story a few times, and it just doesn't happen. I mean, it really doesn't happen. But it happened to me because of my $120,000.
Folks, if you're listening at work, put your headphones on. Don't let your coworkers hear this. He's going to get raunchy.
It cost me $120,000 to invest in Chiropractic College.
Right.
To have a free evening with a lady of the evening, a very, very sexy lady of the evening. So here's what's happening. So you remember those shows, Monday and Tuesday. This isn't the day when Monday and Tuesday night were dead in Vegas, okay? And that's when they tried to lure people there with free flights and blah, 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 $18 rooms and blah, blah, blah. So I finished the 2 shows, and I go, and there's nothing to do. It is dead on the Strip.
Wow.
And oh yeah, you don't remember Monday?
I don't remember.
Oh,
So the last time I did
Nothing.
the Tropicana Monday, it always
that's
changes.
now it's become the night. Monday and Tuesday became the party nights
Yeah.
now in Vegas. It's unbelievable. But this is
Yeah.
when it was dead. So I go into the Mirage from the Riviera, and I knew these waitresses for years. I knew these girls. When I was in chiropractic school, me and my 2 friends used to go out and go to the Mirage all the time, and we got to know these waitresses, and they've been there for years. So I go and say hi. Hey, listen, I'm just letting you know I'm here this week. You want to, come by? Oh, Dean, it's so tough to, we're working, blah, blah, blah. So after spending 20 minutes with those girls, I go play some slots, and I see this girl walking towards me, okay? And there's nobody at the slot machines. I'm the only person playing on this aisle, whatever you call that, with the chairs. And she walks by, and I go, hey, I know you. And I did. I said, I met you about 3 months ago, Super Bowl weekend, me and my 2 friends. And she goes, oh my God, you're the part of the chiropractors. There were 3 chiropractors hanging out for Super Bowl. She goes, you're the chiropractor. And I go, oh my, wow, unbelievable. Now she was cool. She was a very cool girl. And she confided to us the secrets of prostitution
at the chiropractic
in Vegas.
At the chiropractic
3 months
hangout.
before at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
She liked us so much that she wasn't trying to work us for this. She had no interest. She was sitting with us watching the game. And she was like, you guys are cool and blah, blah, blah. And then she started telling us the ins and outs that 97 to 98% of the time, a person who solicits a chiropractor, who solicits a lady of the evening, a prostitute, they never do anything. They stay in the bed and watch the girl strip, and maybe they, do what guys do and blah, blah. But they're so scared to bring anything what they think is going to potentially bring home to the wife, that they don't do anything. So she's like, it's the easiest money on the planet because 2 out of 100 times I actually have to do something. This is what she's telling us. So she liked me and the 2 guys, and she goes, oh my God, your name is Doug or Dave. And I said, Dean. She goes, Dean. She goes, now I remember. She goes, yeah, you got, what happened to your other friends? I said, they're just, I'm working. She goes, what do you mean you're working? And I go, I'm here as a comic. She goes, oh, that's right. You said you're a comedian, blah, blah, blah. So now all of a sudden it's Monday, and I go, how's your night going? I said, I just finished 2 shows. The place was dead. The room was dead. I said, how's your night? She goes, well, I got a guy I'm supposed to go up to in the Mirage in about 20 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden...
And you're like, can I crack his back?
Yo.
So I go, and all of a sudden, I just said, oh, that's fantastic. You'll make a few dollars on a Monday, blah, blah, that kind of thing. And because their money's Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. That's where their money is. So she says to me out of nowhere, she just goes, I feel really comfortable with you because I know you from 3 months ago. She goes, let me ask you something. My back is killing me from these high heels, okay? She goes, I have a slow night tonight, and I'm not going to lie to you. I thought you guys were cute, me and the 2 friends. And she goes, I thought you guys were cute. Is there any way we could do a swap? And I go, what do you got in mind? She goes, I'm a little, and this is what she said, and I'm not trying to be, disrespectful to the podcast. I'm just going to use this word. She goes, I'll be honest. I'm a human being. I'm a little horny tonight. This is what she said. She goes, I'm a little horny.
Whoa.
Okay. No, not kidding. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm thinking to myself, right about now in a movie, you would go, ding, 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 the cherries. The cherries would go at the exact same time.
I'm a little horny.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
So you're,
right. Ding, ding, right, ding, right, right. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
7s.
Right, 7. So all of a sudden, I go, and I'm thinking this over in my head. Do I want to go down this road? Seriously. I don't know, am I going to get robbed? Am I going to lose a kidney?
Whoa.
Oh, do you know what I'm saying? Because they've done this stuff.
Right.
So...
is there a pimp in the room? Is there,
you
don't know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Roofie.
Exactly.
Yeah, roofie.
You got
Who
it.
are these people?
Right,
Who are all these people?
What's going to happen? I'm just the MC.
And there's a guy who would never know. Oh, Jerry.
Yeah.
So,
I got a beef.
So wait, so you got to hit it. So now she goes, all right, let me get a telephone number where I can reach you. And I tell her I'm at the Riv, room 505, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, never again will I ever see this girl. Well, she was a light-skinned black girl, very, very pretty, real sexy. And I go back to the room. It's like 3:30 in the morning. I'll never forget the irony of this because I'm watching the Cosby Show that on reruns.
Right.
I mean, you know how you get 2 channels, 3 channels in Vegas, the old days before cable.
Yeah. And what was ironic?
The irony that, talking about it now, the guy who did all the roofing and blah, 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 that's the show I'm watching.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she comes, I get a phone call. I hear the phone ring next to the Bible. Okay.
Right.
I hear the phone ring, and I pick up, and it's the front desk. And the guy goes, "Oh, is this Dean Larit?" And I go, "Yes." And she goes, "Somebody like to talk to you." And I'm going, "Great, let's see what this is all about." And she gets, "Hi, how are you? I'm here." And I go,
Are you still horny?
"Are you still horny?" And
I'm watching Cosby. Come on down.
so she says, "You have to come and get me, though. They're not letting me up because they know."
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I came down, I got her, and we went upstairs, and she goes, "If you can crack my back and fix my low back, anything you want to do."
Whoa.
Okay, and then she said, "And I feel real comfortable with you, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm just feeling a little bit more sexy tonight than usual."
Wow.
Yeah. And then
Sexy time.
yeah, well, I'm
Borat.
trying to be respectful to
Yeah.
to him, to Darren.
Sexy time.
So takes a shower.
Whoa.
She goes, "I want to freshen myself up for you."
She's like, it's the first one I've had in 4 days.
"Shower or John?"
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So she takes a shower, and I'm waiting in the bed.
Are you watching? Did she leave the shower door open or closed?
No, she closed, did everything. She had towels. She did, I gave her towels, the whole deal. And she came out, and she's, smoking hot. This was a very, very good looking lady. And and we had sex. This was about, I'm not kidding, from about 3:45.
Out of wedlock?
Out of wedlock. And she did, I'll never forget, she said to me, "I want to have sex with you. Not intercourse sex right now without a condom," meaning...
We get the idea.
Okay, exactly.
Meaning, how dumb do you think my listeners are?
Right. So she goes, "But you better not have anything." And I go, "I have nothing. Absolutely clean as a blah, blah, nothing." So did that, and then, did the right thing, condom, the whole deal, had a blast. And it's 7:00 in the morning. We went till like 7 in the morning.
You found her penis.
I found the penis in the shower.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Detachable.
A detachable penis. No, we go for breakfast. Okay, we
All
go
right.
for breakfast. Now this is the best.
Only
this is the-
Dean goes to breakfast. What'd you guys have?
We went to Candace. We went to breakfast downstairs. Remember that little coffee shop in Riviera?
I mean, this is 20
really?
something
All right.
years ago.
Okay, well, mine was like 16, 17. So we go for breakfast, and I cannot tell you how many of the people from the show the night before are up at that hour having breakfast in the coffee shop. And they're like, and they're coming to the table. "Oh, you're the comic. You're the comic."
Right.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend. What's your name? Sue. It's my girlfriend.
Precious.
Precious. And then
Peaches.
and then I took her to to the taxi stand. I threw her $20, and I said to her, I said, "Listen, I'm going to say something to you right now in front of these people." I whispered in her ear. I said, and just go with it, okay? And I go, "All right."
Do my podcast.
All right, listen. I called your mom for that recipe 2 months ago. She never got back to me. Okay. She goes, "I know. I'll tell her to give you a call," and blah, blah, blah. And then she just, got into a taxi, and that was it. Never saw her again.
Wow.
Never saw her again. But I
What's with the recipe and the mom? Was that?
Oh, it's just me, like as though I know her as a very close friend who's wearing a skirt up to her.
Shenanigans. It was shenanigans.
It was shenanigans. But that's my all-time favorite story in Vegas. I've been to the Chicken Ranch. I've done all that stuff. I went to the Chicken Ranch and shot pool while my friends were having sex. I didn't feel comfortable with that. I didn't like it. But that was a pretty wild
I thought you were going to
experience.
say, "I'm going to say something. Go with it." And as she starts to walk away, you're like, "What's closer, the moon or Florida?"
There you go.
You can jump
That
the
would have been
turnstile.
good. Name
Don't-
3 U.S. states.
But that was it. That was my all-time favorite on that. And then there was nights, where we went to the Chicken Ranch, and I can say that I've been to the world famous Chicken Ranch, and that was a wild thing because they sound a bell, a cowbell, and they all come downstairs. Some of them are coming down.
They're skanks.
They're coming down. They got
Dude.
crust in their eyes. They just
Dude,
wake
their
up.
caps have caps.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. But I just ended up shooting pool because I still was like a little on the fence about doing that. But that was it. Other than that,
Great story, Dean.
Yeah,
How about
I
I have for
thought that-
Dean? Dean,
I
let
thought-
Dr. Dean.
I mean, think about it. How many people free with a prostitute?
I got a question.
You got a free one.
Now you guys think less of me.
I got a question for DiResta that came in.
Go ahead.
What was your worst gig? Or you can answer it too. Maybe I'll answer it.
I have an unusual one. You know how everybody says they bombed. I bombed.
Yeah.
We all have those, and I had a few of those. But I opened up for who's the Tom
Dreesen?
No.
Tom Rhodes?
No.
Tom Jones?
No. Tom, the radio guy that disliked women.
Tom Likas.
I opened up for Tom Likas at the Wiltern Theater 2000.
He's a comic?
He just did
okay.
Boys
radio guy
Night Out. It was called Boys Night Out, and it was all anti-women, anti-women.
That's his stand-up. Okay.
And he came out, and they hoot and howl for him for 10 minutes. And then when they got tired of hooting and howling, he now sounds like he's an angry anti-women for another 20 minutes.
You're going to dump that bitch.
Yeah, then they bring me out.
Never spend more than $40.
And they bring me out. And I had a heavy metal, being married sucks, I smoke pot, and I...
That's all good. That's good stuff.
I was killing. In a very weird way, it was the first time ever, all I saw was a white light. All I saw was the haze, like Bugs Bunny. I didn't see any people's face at all.
Oh, because the light was so bright.
The light was so bright, I just got these laughs out of this crazy grayness. And I saw 3 or 4 guys work boots, and they were all Mexican, and they were bombed. It had a feeling of a heavy metal concert, not a comedy show.
Yeah.
And I did about 12 or 13 minutes, and I got to a bit how I went to the Bunny Ranch. And I had permission. I'm a married man that goes to the Bunny Ranch with permission. Yeah. These guys, I represent hope.
Yeah.
The running gag is I went with a girl named Precious. I paid a lot of money for 1 hour, and I was done in 1 minute. And she said, you paid a lot of money. You got 59 minutes left.
The crowd's like, ha, 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 ha.
You don't want to do anything else? And I said, I do, but it's really weird. She says, no, not in here. I said, it's weird. I said, I noticed you have a laptop. Can I check my emails? Right, it's a funny thing. For 59 minutes, I sat in my Three Stooges underwear and checked my emails. Before iPhones. Here it comes. The tag I always do to get out of that while they're laughing about the email, I go, that Precious was a good guy. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, it's a transvestite joke.
Go ahead.
I said, that Precious was a good guy. And 2,500 people went silent. And I went, something's wrong. I thought somebody was injured. I thought there was a stabbing because I couldn't see.
Yeah.
After it went silent, boo. 1 boo, 2 boos, 8 boos, 50 boos. 2,500 drunks booing me with all their might.
Wow.
And every tactic goes through your mind as a comedian. Look, I wasn't heckled. The lights didn't break. They're booing me for something I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
So I said, can I just do my last joke and I'll get off? I had no other tactic to say, can I just do my last joke and I'll leave you alone? I came off and I had a comedy coach on the wings. And as I'm not even done stepping off, he comes running over to me. I go, dude, what just happened? And he goes, you didn't notice? I said, what? He goes, you told 2,500 macho, drunken Mexican men that you had sex with a man. And they didn't want to be pulled into that homosexual act by proxy. But so that was my weirdest.
Did you drop that joke after that?
No, I still do it.
No, he opens with it.
No, there you go. No, I still do it because it's just somehow, some way, not people. It's more of a funny, that Precious was a good guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's money in the bank. It's a stupid joke. But this is what a rough crowd they was. Bobby, what's his name, came up. They didn't listen to him for 1 second.
Slayton.
No, but before he came up, the guy with the gravelly voice, he's really funny.
Jimmy Schubert.
Duchesne?
Jimmy Schubert went up. They didn't listen to him at all.
Really? Yeah.
They didn't listen.
I love Jimmy.
Yeah, and then Mr. Happy got up, Bobby Slayton. He didn't get them either. He just rattled through his act. He must have done a 50-minute set in 25 minutes.
Okay.
He never even stopped once to hear them laugh. So we made it through, and I had a decent paycheck. It was like $1,000 gig in LA, So we cut through the back. I don't want to see any of these people. So we cut through the back alley of the Wiltern Theater, and one car is driving, and it's full of like 7 Mexican dudes, all packed with pot smoke. And the guy in the front seat was smoking a bong that was so long, he was lighting it with his arms stretched like this and suckling it. It was like a 7-foot bong. And they stopped, and I had like a video camera, a suit jacket. When you leave one of these gigs that you got there at 1 in the afternoon, you have food.
Right.
And so the one guy smoking the bong, the other guy rolls down the window and he puts a baseball hat out. And he goes, "Sign my hat, fucker."
Uh-huh.
I go, "What?" He goes, "Sign my hat or we're going to steal your shit." That was the nice way of asking me for an autograph. If you don't give me one, I'm going to steal your shit.
That's cool.
Got to the car and that was it.
That's
Scene.
good stuff, man. That's good
Bad
stuff.
And that was the night Tupac became one Pac.
It's so funny when people always ask me that. You're a very good story, by the way. When people ask me, they go, "What was your worst gig?" I think as a comic, you want to put them out of your mind. You don't want to dwell on it, so you stop thinking like that was my worst gig. You know, like sometimes I'll tell the New Kids on the Block story. You know,
You opened for them?
I opened for them. It was one of my first gigs. I've been doing comedy for 3 months. You know?
And how many people are you in front of? And they were screaming
3,000, and they were all between the ages of like 7 and
Oh my goodness!
8.
What a horrific!
They were all
gig.
little girls who loved the New Kids on the Block. This is like 1990.
Where? What town?
Fresno, California. It was at I want to say the Warner's Theater.
You had to have bombed.
I bombed. I got the gig, but I bombed. I did. I've told this story before, but I got the gig by doing. They had local auditions, and there's bands and break dancers and all this stuff. So my thing is, I'm just one guy, and I'm doing impressions and beatboxing and cartoon impressions. I'm like, blows me down. I couldn't be hipper. Shiver me timbers. I'm a Chippendale stripper. Kermit the Frog,
The
and I'm
old
covered in
Popeye
green.
the rapper.
Yeah, Popeyes are. But I was hey, I was like 19, so
Yeah, dude. And you were selling it.
And I'm selling, and I look like Popeye. I'm like, "Olives, come here." Listen, I'm a Chippendale stripper. Kermit the Frog, and I'm covered in green. Miss Piggy is fat. That's FAT, but it's my prerogative. Which my prerogative was a big hip hop
I'm
song.
surprised
right?
you don't do this still.
What's his name? Brown. Bobby Brown.
Bobby
And I was like,
Brown.
"Well, my name is Bullwinkle. I am a moose. Give me the mic and I'll cut loose, cuz." And then here's another big song that was popular back then. "Me so horny." And I'm doing this. The people that was my killer bit. Like all through like college. Like I'd been doing the bit longer than 3 months, but just for friends.
Right.
College, and
That was your closer.
that was my closer.
You were going to
You're right.
knock him out with the
You're
Popeye.
right. You're right. I was gonna, because I would do the moves, the hip gyrations. It was awesome. But here's where I messed up. I thought, I'm gonna do this thing like I used to see like Rich Little and these impersonators do. We're gonna do an all new cast of The Wizard of Oz and replacing.
Oh, Dice plays closing bid for
Yeah.
years.
So that's what I would do. I would be like, I'm gonna do. Replace the New Kids on the Block, but we're gonna have Bullwinkle Pop. But as soon as I came out, they go, they were like, "Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to see the New Kids on the Block?" The crowd's like, "Yeah." "Are you ready?" "Yeah." And they're like, "But first,
Right.
here's a comedian." And they're kind of like, these kids are like, "Darren Carter." I go out, "Hey, it's great to be here, opening for the New Kids on the Block." And I didn't even realize that as soon as I said their name, the crowd goes nuts. They're like, "Yeah." And I was like, whoa, that was a powerful feeling. To say something and have a whole crowd roar for you.
Wow.
And I was like, and I love the New Kids on the Block. Yeah, I was hanging out with them backstage, which is true. New Kids on the Block. And I said, but I think we should replace them with new members. And boo. And they just started booing me. And I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, Kermit the Frog, boo. Blows me down. Boo. Boo. And I was like, you guys, I'm there, guy. Good night, everybody. And it was just the worst.
How
dude.
long?
Probably I was supposed to do 5, and I think I made it maybe to 2. Maybe,
Oh, wow,
Maybe to
okay.
2.
Oh, so this was in and out misery.
Yeah, this is yeah. This is like
That's nothing. 2 minutes.
It was a weird feeling. That was my first big bam, bomb, fall on your face kind of
But
thing.
here's the best part.
That hurts.
Here's the best part: the fact that 7-year-olds knew to boo.
Yeah, there you
They
go.
knew
That's
the
funny.
concept.
Yeah. Oh,
to
they
boo.
loved it like I was a wrestling, like I was a heel
Right.
or something.
My worst. Unfortunately, we were just talking about this with somebody like 2 nights ago, about that. I came off the 14 shows from the Riviera.
Right.
Back to the prostitution. I came off the 14 shows, and I get a spot at the Ice House, Pasadena, obviously, and in the audience, which now the Ice House is the world-renowned easiest club in the country, okay, to kill.
Yeah.
And Jay Davis and Mike Marino are sitting next to New Jersey's bad boy Mike Marino are sitting next to each other, and go get him, Dean, knock him down, blah blah blah. And I thought I did 14 shows in Las Vegas.
Oh,
I'm
no.
complete. And I lit a bomb in the easiest club in America to destroy like you've never seen. And to this day, I cannot get booked by Jay Davis. And hi, Jay, how are you? It's time, Jay. It's time.
What was the joke?
There's no joke. The set.
Just what I'm saying. What in hindsight? What made the set?
I would never be able to tell you the joke. No.
I'm saying, was it one joke that you opened up with?
No,
it was
we're saying the entire set was crickets.
But I'm saying, did you turn them off? That's what I'm asking you. Did you turn them off by saying New Kids on the Block need to be replaced?
No, nothing like that. No,
you just couldn't break the ice.
Could not get to this audience.
Did you flop sweat it?
What you mean? Was I?
Yeah.
No, I always, I'm a pretty good faker. You claim I'm one of the best at taking a bomb.
Yeah, save.
And
it's a save.
Saver. Yeah,
it's a cheese save.
Yeah,
like
you
a
always
hockey
say that
goalie.
about me.
Okay.
And nothing.
Well, that's a needed tactic with your act.
Yeah, correct.
There you go.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And
but was your mind working on seven different levels? Your mouth's moving, and you're like, "This worked 17 shows in a row. Why isn't it working now?"
Yeah, in my head.
What's going on?
In my head. No, I didn't do any of that to them.
No, I'm saying in
but
your
in
head.
my head,
yeah. Now your mouth's moving, and you're disconnected.
I'm going, what am I doing wrong right now that I can't get this? That in Vegas, 200, 300 people at each show,
they're eating it up,
loving it. And I'm going, this really, and of course, Mike Marino and Jay Davis. In theory, that's the only two people I cared about, okay?
And you didn't get them.
Get them. Mike Mike has never used me again either. You don't. Let's be honest, you don't, okay? And Jay Davis, he knows how much I've tried with Jay Davis. Cannot get in with him in any way. Just one set. And guys like him, like Darren, have actually vouched for me and said, no, the guy's good. You can use this guy, and it doesn't. It's that friggin' impression.
So I have found that since doing comedy for over 30 years.
Are you at 30 and plus?
Yeah. So what I do is, if I'm ever in that bombing situation, I try to reset. I try to.
Well, now I have different tools.
I'm telling the audience what we're trying to do.
Yeah, when you don't have the
I didn't have the tools.
You know what I mean? Like what you said, that inner dialogue. I try to okay, let's reset, shake it off, something,
right.
And then just and sometimes just to pretend that you're doing good, and they get back on board, and then I get back into better bits with material. Sometimes you're talking a mile a minute, and you realize, reset, drink a little water, talk to somebody.
You have to acknowledge that you're on a bad railroad track to the cliff. You're on it. You can't just stay on it. So you have to stop. You have to have it in an actor.
Correct.
As an actor, it's called a beat change.
Yeah.
You need to physically stop and say to yourself, okay, how do I get to the fun zone? How do I make it fun for me?
Yeah.
And it might be a joke about a guy in the front. It might be,
it could also be a self-defamation thing about
anything.
yourself.
It could be acknowledging that as soon as you acknowledge that the jokes aren't going well, you break the ice there.
They usually
so we have all these tactics now, but when you don't have the tactics...
I didn't have those tools.
Yeah.
Now,
all right, let's take it to another direction. Let's name some of our best shows
sets ever.
What's
okay?
We'll start with John.
Someone asked me today on a text, what's the favorite place to ever perform? And my favorite, and I don't think you had this experience. Out of all the places I've gone, 6,400 sets, the Comedy Cafe in Milwaukee on East Brady Street. You did too?
I did that, and then we went to see Springsteen the next day at the United Center.
I don't know if you did one night, but I did a weekend there, probably about 8 or 10 weekends in my life. And to me, the inside of that club was just great. The outside with the guys, the radio, the married couple or a couple, I would see them on Friday, and this guy would be banging on the counter of the radio. He was the Howard Stern of Milwaukee. And he would look so forward to coming to see, when I came in. All the guys that drove you to and from the radio and worked at the comedy club were all bikers that were real
cool guys.
The men
I love those guys. Shout out if any of you are watching. I loved going to Milwaukee.
So anyway, that was my favorite gig.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I had a bad experience. I did.
By the way, we have about 5-6 minutes.
Okay, I did Vegas a few times at the Improv as a middle at the Improv. And it went well, right? Hey, you only got to do 20 minutes, and and it's there to laugh. And somehow I got booked in South Lake Tahoe, and for some reason I thought resort,
Same improv.
snow,
Right, oh.
improv, vacation. Yeah, so do the same. It's good. And it was the first 2 or 3 shows. I was in the toilet, and I'm like, this is the same as Vegas because they have gambling things. What? But no 2 audiences are ever the same.
Right.
And 1 or 2 nights, I said, I can't believe it. Here I am in Reno. I'm not even doing well. And people are like, you're not in Reno.
It's Lake Tahoe.
You're 50 miles away.
Yeah.
And but the overall thing is no 2 shows are ever the same. So you have to be ready to adapt. And my theory is come on loose and get looser. And that's the number 1 tactic to avoid bad sets. And you got to find your own personal. I tell jokes that I know are stupid and gross that are going to make me laugh. And then as soon as I laugh, it gets them loosened up.
And you're right. What you said is keep it fun for yourself. What can I say to keep it fun? I'd say with what came to mind, 2 of them. One show would be when I did the Tonight Show, with Jay Leno.
Right.
That was of course, that was something I knew, this is something everybody knows about, has heard of, has watched, something so I thought this is great because if you're ever on an airplane or something or some weird social situation and people are like, oh, you're a comedian? Make me laugh, or what have you? And you could be like, oh, I did the Tonight Show. That's like a thing that they've heard of.
That's a big one.
Not like these little cable shows that I would do that nobody really, I was on K-Locos or, all those kind of things. It was something that I knew. And during my set, I remember thinking this is going really well. By the way, you guys can see it on YouTube. Go to Darren Carter, look for it. It's on my channel. Or just DM me. I'll send it to you. And I remember thinking this is going really well. Don't mess up. That actually went to my head.
Oh, that went through your head?
On the Tonight Show?
In my mind, yep. I had about, let's say you do 5
isn't that
minutes.
amazing?
Let's say you do 5 minutes. It was around the 4.5 minute mark where I thought, wow, I actually did really well. I'm almost done. I've only got one last bit. And I remember thinking, just do good.
You're almost there, man.
You're almost there, man. It's almost like you're running a race and you just got to get from here to that wall. And of course, the set was great. I loved it. Jay, we set it up where we did a little panel afterwards. But I would say that was a good marker. But as far as a good show, and I got to say, I did a recent one at a winery. And what I think made that good for me was I did all the things I wanted to do. I didn't get, you know what I mean? I've been trying to work clean. I made people laugh for, my entire time up there. And I wasn't dirty. I didn't do, so all these little things I wanted to do, I accomplished it. The little stories about hide and seek with my son, or the corn maze. I brought the corn maze back because we're surrounded by corn. I did some riffing. I did some improv stuff, and I also learned to film it and bring my lavalier mic so I can put pieces of it on the internet, because how often have we killed and then there was no documentation and it's just gone. So that was a lot of work to set all the cameras up and all the stuff and this and that, but I was able to do it and capture it, and I felt like that was a new milestone for me personally.
Nice.
So that was it. And what about you, Dean?
Favorite set we're talking?
Yeah, favorite set, or one that you really like.
The favorite set that I've had this conversation too is the Crest Theater in Delray, Florida. I opened up for Dom Irera, and this is 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I think that's what I would be right. And it was one of those sets. The way I described this set, it was in a beautiful theater. It was about 400 people, 450. And I've often described it this way. And I've tell you when I have a bad set. I'm pretty honest about my sets.
Right.
I often say, if Lorne Michaels was visiting his hypothetical mother living in Florida,
right?
Because everybody goes from Canada to Florida, and I was 35 and not 53. That's about 4 years ago. 52. I would have gotten Saturday Night Live on this set.
Wow.
That's the set. There wasn't, out of 18, I think I did 18 to open for him, 18 to 20. And I don't think there was 15 seconds of non-laughter in other words, a 15-second downtime to get to the next laugh.
That's cool.
Okay. Now, I've played South Florida 35 times because my parents were there. So I would go down 1 to 2 times a year, and I'd always play New York Comedy Club.
Right,
Glades,
Boca.
Yeah, in Boca. And,
Behind the Burger King.
Correct. Right. Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. And so it was one of those sets. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I've actually discussed this with Dom Irera backstage at the Laugh Factory at the Trop. There was a guy, it was supposed to be a two-man show, me and Irera. I'll do 20 and he'll do an hour. Okay, and that was the show. And then all of a sudden, the booker brings another person in from like Michigan, okay, whatever. He was down in Florida. And I said, you're doing the show also? And then I told the booker, I said, I thought it's just me and Dom. And she goes, oh, no, it's not going to affect the amount of time you can do, because that's what I was thinking in my head. All right, so, okay, cool. So I get this set of a lifetime. I wish I had this one on tape. Seriously, that's how good this was. And the other guy, I'll never forget, when I would put the mic into the mic stand and said, ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Winter, whoever it was. Kelly Winters. He comes on. Remember, this is a theater with people either like in sport jackets. This is like nice upscale Delray Beach. And as soon as I turned to the left, he's got a backwards baseball cap on and T-shirt, jeans, blah. And I knew he was going to tank because of the back. And as soon as I saw and I'm wearing a blazer.
Yeah, I don't buy anyone that wears a baseball hat on backwards
Correct.
On stage.
I don't. Are you being facetious?
No, I'm not. I don't.
How about forward? What if it's?
I just still don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's not time for that.
What are you hiding from?
Yeah.
Okay, I never got.
It's not time for that.
Have you guys ever performed with a hat on?
Never. I've never.
I haven't either. I'll tell you 2 reasons I haven't.
I don't like it.
One, because a lot of my act was about having red hair.
Right.
So I'm like, well, how am I going to do my redhead jokes?
Right.
And then when I went bald, I'm like, how am I going to do my bald jokes?
There you go.
Okay. So to summarize, and I did not see him with a baseball cap in the green room. So when I put that stand in,
Mike in the mic stand.
And I turned, I went, he's fucked.
Okay,
That's what happened in my. And so wait, you got to hear this. He goes 22 minutes, and John, as God is my witness, man, I don't think there was one laugh.
Wow.
In 22 minutes. Okay?
Shout out to Kelly Winters.
Is
that his name?
No, I would never say that. Kelly Summers. So anyway,
that was funny.
that was funny. See, I can be funny.
An hour and
I can be
7
funny.
minutes in. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're just now warming up, baby.
We do 2.5 hours. No. So
we're gonna end it soon.
we're gonna end. Yeah. So I'll never forget this because it could have went wrong for me. So Irera comes out. I bring him out.
Dom Irera.
I'm talking no laughs for this guy.
Right.
In 20, 21, 22 minutes. And his only applause break was when he got off the...
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I bring Irera on, and...
His only applause break was, how about those new kids on the block?
Right.
Yay.
Kermit. So Irera comes on, and I'll never forget this. And the reason I don't forget it is because it could have went bad for me. Okay? And he goes like this. He goes, hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have fun for the next hour and a little bit and some change, hour and change. And he goes, hey, I was in the green room, and you can hear everything on an intercom system that they have. I guess there's a speaker in there. And I got to tell you, how about a nice hand for that opening act? Didn't even know my name.
Right.
Okay. But he knew me from the improv and and the factory to say hi, but didn't really know the name. He goes, how about a nice hand for that? And I got a huge applause because I'm telling you, set of a lifetime. Okay. And then he goes, didn't he crush? That guy was funny, man. I was listening. And he goes, and the other guy, not so much. Okay. And they applauded the not so much.
Yeah, because he's acknowledging it.
Exactly. And he's like, what the F was that? I mean, and the guy is on the wings by the curtain watching because he's thinking he's getting ready to watch the legend Dom Irera and everything's going to be cool and blah, blah, blah. And I felt so bad. And then I thought to myself, man, what happened if I didn't have a good set? I would have been thrown out, quote unquote. But it was... I went into him at the Laugh Factory at the Tropicana backstage where they do karaoke with Harry Basil and those guys. And I told him this story, and he goes, "Did I really?" I said, "To a T, that's what you said." And
Whoa.
And he was like, "Probably deserved it." and that was great. And it was great. It was a great. We just laughed, and it was funny. But
Well,
yes,
I'm glad you had a good set, and that was great.
And that was the last time I've had a good set. So anyway, no, I'm kidding.
Dean,
kidding.
you're the best, man. You know what? And I want to thank you for coming on the Pocket Party podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Can I give
you.
a shout out?
Yes, you can.
I'd like to give a shout out to my friend in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
That-
Is it Adrian?
Yeah, Adrian Vita.
Adrian, how you doing, Adrian? I want to thank all the podcast listeners. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank all of you for being so nice, for coming in, for watching this show
coming
all
back.
the way to the end, coming back. Dr. Dean Larit. If you're ever in Hollywood, you're ever in LA, you're ever in Southern California, reach out. He'll crack your back. Tell him you listen to the Pocket Party podcast. I'm sure he'll give you 10% off or something.
No discount. No, absolutely. At DRDEAN125. At Dr. Dean 125.
Same thing with John DiResta, table maker. He made this very table. Same thing. Say that you found us on the Pocket Party podcast. He'll probably,
If you come to LA, I'll hack your crack.
I don't know what that means, but he'll do it.
I'll hack your crack.
He'll hack your crack.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. You got it. All right, guys. Darren Carter.
Thank you.
John DiResta.
Yeah, baby.
Dean Larit. We're out. Do us a favor, guys. Please leave a comment on YouTube. It helps that algorithm. Subscribe. If you like this episode, share it. Let people know what they're missing and say, hey, this is a cool episode. This is a cool podcast. This is, we've done 219 episodes,
Wow.
and it helps. So thank you so much, you guys. And that's one way you can help. Just subscribe, share, and thanks again for sharing part of your week with us.
Thank you.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to the Pocket Party.